Now, the older brother, at this time, was working in the fields. And as he came back to the house, he heard the noise of music and dancing. He called for one of the servants and asked what was happening. And he was told. At this, the older brother became very angry. And he refused to go into the house. The father came out, tried to plead with him, but he wouldn't listen. I have worked for you all this time, all these years, and never once have I disobeyed you. And in all that time, you've never even given me so much as a goat so that I could have a feast with my friends. My younger brother comes back, having spent all your money on harlots, and for him you kill the fatted calf. Please, said the father. Please, try to understand. You are always with me. Everything I have is yours. But it is right to celebrate. Your brother was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.
And this story of Jesus' prodigal son has a final battle. The final showdown turns out to be, the one we just saw turns out to be a fake, a faux resolution. The audience is whipped with surprise when the new plan fails because achieving the goal doesn't really solve the story problems. The final battle continues, repeating the Act 3 story again. So you have another final battle and another crux and another resolution. That's why it's called the 9-12. Sometimes it's just 9, sometimes it's 12. In the parable of the prodigal son, it's the older son. Now the older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing, and he called one of the servants and asked what these meant. And he said to him, your brother has come, and your father has killed the fattened calf, because he received him back safe and sound. So the older son is angry and refuses to go in, which leads to the second crux, which is a deeper transformation is required of the hero, either because they failed in their first transformation or is incomplete. And then this is so important, a deeper story point of view, POV, is finally revealed, and the audience is often shocked to discover they've been viewing the story from the wrong perspective. And that's what's happened in the story of the parable of the prodigal son. It's not the story of the parable of the prodigal son. It's the story of the man who had 2 sons. It's the story of the man. It's the story of the prodigal, wasteful, loving father who in his second crux, it realized the whole story has really been about him all along. These parables use a rich imagery of language to catch the listener unawares. If at first all seems familiar and then a shift develops in the plot of the story, the ordiness of the parable is transformed by a surprising twist. And the twist is this: his father came out and entreated him, but he answered his father, look, there are many years I've served you. I've never disobeyed your command, yet you never gave me a young goat that I might celebrate my friends. But when this son of yours came who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him. Now the second son's heart is revealed, but then this final resolution is waiting. The hero finally succeeds or fails, often in an even more unexpected way than would have been possible if without transformation. The true moral premise is revealed and changes how the story ends, often with the audience questioning what will happen next. And that's exactly what happens in the parable of the prodigal son. The final resolution is, but his father said to him, son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. It was fitting to celebrate and be glad, for this brother of yours was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found. But how the second son responds is never told. It's left for the audience to make their decision. The parables reach the heart through the imagination. They challenge the mind at the highest intellectual level by using simple stories that made common sense out of the complexities of religious faith and human experience. The parable begins where the listener is, but then pushes beyond into a new realm of discovery. And that's what Jesus has done by using this story structure. The same story structure you'll find in any Hollywood movie of a hook, inciting event, Rubicon, a new desire, rising action, a midpoint, an all in, all is lost, and then a final battle, a crux, and a resolution. Maybe repeat those again. That's the way the book of Genesis is set up, with the story of Adam, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then the story of Joseph. It's the way the book of Exodus is set up, with the call, the Pharaoh, the law, the golden calf, and the final battle. It's the way the book of Luke is set up, with the preparation for ministry, the Galilean ministry, the journey to Jerusalem, and the passion narrative. It's the way the book of Acts is set up, with the preparation of Acts 1 and 2, the ministry to Jerusalem, to the uttermost the ends of the earth, and then the final battle in Rome. This is a story structure that's woven into Scripture, it's woven into the human mind, it's woven into creation. And it's one that I want you to try to figure out and learn. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to walk through the Star Wars in the next set. It's going to be kind of a set of videos you're going to have to watch online, and I've heard they're just too big. But work your way through it so you see the different parts going through Star Wars. And then on your own, I want you to go back. So you'll do that. I'll do that for you. Walk through Star Wars. That'll be a learning thing. And then I want you to go back and watch the entire movie of Toy Story, trying to mark out the 9 12-point journey plot points in the hero's external journey. Don't focus on anything else except the hero's external journey. Try to figure those out using section A on your worksheets. And then I want you to try to do it again in one of your favorite movies, a movie you know pretty well. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite movies, so I'm going to be using that one. But I want you to just try it again and then go online, post in the forums, and we'll have some discussions about this and see if you can grasp this, that this story structure that seems so foreign to us actually is something that's been right before us all along, just like mammals. That we can tell the difference of a mammal just by looking at it. But to really understand mammals, we need to study them more differently. And the same thing works in story. See you online.